There's this story of these two sisters who slept with their father in order to preserve their lineage. I said that with a straight face, but isn't that really interesting? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why they even did what they did in this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Moralayo back here. Thank you for tuning into episode 2 of the Holy Tea. Today we're going to talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. Alright, so let's just get straight into it because you guys would really enjoy this story. In the time of Abraham, before Abraham conceived Isaac, Lot, who was living in Sodom and Gomorrah at that time, he was just wandering in the city and he saw two angels, right? And Lot went to the angels and he was like, oh, welcome, you can come to my house, I'll feed you, I'll clothe you, I'll bath you, you servants of God, let me receive you at my place. So the angels went with Lot to his house and Lot basically clothed them and basically received them as a proper guest. So, and it said so in the Bible that when the angels arrived, all of the men in Sodom and Gomorrah, both young and old, the Bible specifically says all of the men, both young and old, went to Lot's house and banged on Lot's door, and they were like, yo, we know you have two guests in there, bring them out so we can sleep with them. I'm not even joking. I was so surprised when I read that part of the story. This is Genesis, by the way. Genesis is packed with a lot of stories, so go check it out. So they came, right? And they were like, open this door, bring the guest. We know you have guests inside. Bring them out. We want to sleep with them. And Lot was like, everyone, no, calm down, You know what? I have two virgin daughters. I will give you both of them. Take them and do whatever you want with them. Yeah, he said that. And the men were like, who are you to even pronounce a judgment? Who are you to make this decision? Like, bro, we're not gonna listen to you. Bring out those men. Those are the people we want. Now, Lot, after offering all the men, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, he offered all the men his daughters and they refused. They said it's specifically those two in the house that we want. Now the men were growing impatient. They rushed to Lot's door. They were about to bang the door and open the door and take both of those men, those angels that visited Lot's place, and take them by force. But it came to pass that the angels blinded all the men and shut the door and then took Lot inside. So they left a specific instruction to Lot. They said, Lot, what we're about to do to this place, we want you to tell your family to leave this place. We want you to flee because we're about to destroy this place. So do what you will. Now, Lot haven't heard this. He didn't really, he was just like, cool. He didn't really take it to heart like that. So Lot now went to tell his virgin daughter's fiancés that, yo, we gotta leave this place. But they didn't even budge. And mind you, remember that all the men were in Lot's house demanding to sleep with those two. That means both of Lot's daughter's fiancés were also in there. Plot twist. Anyways, so he tells them, he didn't even tell his own family, he tells the daughter's fiancés, yo, we gotta leave, and they didn't even reply. So the angels took Lot again. They were like, you're not serious. Take your wife and your daughters and flee from this place, because I'm telling you that what I'm about to do is crazy. Do you know what I mean? So they told Lot that, and finally Lot started to move. Yeah, so they told Lot that, and Lot was still being stubborn, right? He didn't listen. So the angels finally took matters in their own hands and, took Lot, his wife, and both daughters out of the city. Now, when they got out of the city, the angels told the family, run and don't look back. I mean, run and do not look back. And Lot said, it was complaining. It was like, how we finna get out of this place early that whatever you want to do will not affect us? Can we stay at a very far village from there? Is it possible? Then the angels were like, okay, cool. Y'all can stay in there, but remember, don't turn back. Run and stay there. The city will be destroyed. Don't move back. So they give them that specific instruction, right? So after the angels leave Lot and his family and tell them to leave, the angels went back to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. And it came to pass in the Bible that sulfur was running on the city. Sulfur and fire rained on Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because their hearts had turned away from the things of God. It was very clear and evident in the example that I have given for the people to go and approach and bang the door on Lot's door, claiming, demanding that I want to sleep with your visitors. And it was all of the men in there. So the angels ended up destroying Sodom and Gomorrah with the help of God himself while raining down sulfur and fire. Now, back to Lot. Lot and his family were on the way to that small village that the angels said they wouldn't destroy. Now, when they were running, Lot's wife looked back. She looked back and she turned into salt. She generally just turned into salt, just like that. And just like that, Lot and his daughters, they get to the village. The wife is no more. And just like that, Sodom and Gomorrah is destroyed. Now, after they've escaped, the village that Lot went to flee from Sodom, he didn't really like it. He didn't feel comfortable. So Lot and his daughters went deeper into the mountains in that city, and they settled there. And it came to pass that Lot's older daughter was talking to her younger sister. She's like, yo, our city has been destroyed. Our fiancés are gone. What are we going to do to preserve our lineage? We are both women, and I think I have an idea. Then she tells the sister, what we're going to do is that we're going to get father drunk. Once we get father drunk, we're going to go in and we're going to lay with him and we're going to give birth. And through that child, we're going to continue our lineage. And they got Lot drunk. Lot was not aware of whatever was going in. On the first night after she spoke, Lot's older daughter was the first person to perform the act. So I'm not gonna cut that anyways. Yeah, she was the first person to perform the act. So she goes, she lies down with her father. She comes out. Cool. Now the next day she tells her younger sister, yo, it's your turn. You gotta go. You gotta get your own child too. So they do the same thing. So the younger daughter lied with her father, and they both had children. They both had children for their father. So Lot's daughters ended up sleeping with Lot and giving birth to children for their father. That is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. I myself have heard of Sodom and Gomorrah. I've heard about the story of Lot, and I've heard about how Lot's wife turned into salt, but I was not aware of how much details that our Bible speaks about it. And that is it for me today. That was the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, like I've said 1,000 times. I honestly took some time to process the story, and it just shows you that human understanding does not exceed that of God's. The thing that we deem normal, the thing that we deem as wise, is the most foolishest plan of that of God. Is that a word? Foolishest? Hush, Lord have mercy. Anyways, my point is to say God is great. That has been it from me. I hope you enjoyed. the story, and I hope you learned a thing or two. Don't forget to like, perhaps comment if you enjoyed the story. If you're not subscribed, why not subscribe? And most importantly, perhaps share it to your friends to tell them the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Bye guys.